episode of Irrational Moms. We're coming to you from MILF Estates, where we've been it's summertime now, right? And, oh, you know what? What the funny thing is? Not funny thing, but a really cool thing. One of my kids got his permit, so now I have a designated driver all the time. I'm a chauffeur.
That's awesome. I cannot wait for that. I'm like, you better get that book and start studying right now because
right. Well, I guess that there's a really high rate of kids that fail the permit test.
There's also a high rate of kids that don't want to drive at all,
which is crazy to me.
It's so bizarre to me because I left school the day I turned 16 and got my license during the day, immediately. And these kids are waiting till they're 17, 18, 19, and they just, because they can bike and walk and
21.
I'm like,
I didn't get my driver's license until I was 21.
Crazy.
No way.
I didn't have a car. What am I going to drive?
I'm with Annabelle.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm with Annabelle.
How are you getting places?
Friends stay. I don't know.
Okay. Because I know if you live in a big city, it makes sense. But when you're out in the country, you had to have, someone to drive.
Yeah.
True.
Just pile in the back of the truck.
Yep. I just can't wait to not be driving the evenings, all the practices. Those that'll wear me out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did my final morning carpool of my life, hopefully, on this past week, now that school's over and everyone can bike to school now. So I don't have to leave my house at 7:40 in the morning, ever again for a long time.
I'm so happy for you.
Day of school, and that's tomorrow. One more carpool tomorrow. But no, okay, did you also know, in California, you have to wait 6 months and one day before you can actually get your license.
It's like a divorce.
Right? And there's no bifurcation for a driver's license.
Right, there's no bifurcations with your license. You can't just pay extra and get it quicker. The reason that's funny, Matt, is because my ex needed a bifurcation because our divorce wasn't going to be done fast enough. Not because I was delaying it, mind you, but he had to hurry up and get married because her baby was about to fall out. And so she wanted to have it for free with the military health care. So that's why that happened.
I just told my cousin that. I'm like, you just need to that's a whole different story because he's getting a divorce and it's been going pretty well up until his last session. And I'm like, just get a bifurcation. He's like, what's that? I'm like, it's just you can just fast it's like a fast pass for a divorce. Right. I mean, you basically are divorced, but you still have to do all the stuff,
Yeah, I'll text him later and talk to him about it. Well, because and also imagine. Wait, no, I probably shouldn't say that. I was going to say, when I was getting divorced, if my ex had been here's a house, here's half of all my millions, I would have just been okay, bye. I would not have put up a fuss or been any kind of problematic. I would have just taken that and been done.
But you weren't problematic, though. You were not problematic.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah. I know. I'm saying the idea that someone can get so much and still have problems is crazy to me.
Well, I'll offline we can talk about this. But yeah, if I got divorced and my husband's like, hey, I'm gonna pay cash for a brand new house down the street for you and give you all half my money, which is a lot, and you never have to work ever again, I'd be like, where do I sign?
Bye.
They're like, all right, okay. I mean, that you just can't get a better deal than that in any scenario. So to me, it's weird when, I guess because my scenario was so not like that and uncool, I'm like, God, I would have been so grateful if it had been easier,
Yeah. At least he's kind of cool now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We get along fine now. Yeah. This is all a long time ago, so I don't care anymore. That's why I joke about it.
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna be driving soon. Oh, and then in California, you can't drive with anybody in your car for the first year.
Yeah, except your siblings. Though.
Yes, you can drive your siblings.
You can drive your siblings.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because
but a lot of people don't follow that. I know because my kid gets rides from people all the time that if they get pulled over, it's like, oh, my brother, what?
Yeah, exactly. I know Mr. Poindexter's like, no, he can't do that. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, can you stop being a rule follower? I'm like, since when did you start following rules? Because you were not that way when you were growing up.
No, because he's a helicopter parent. He thinks kids can't go in the ocean because they'll die.
98% of children that get in the ocean die. 98% that get in a car die.
He says, and I go to Mexico a lot, and he's like, 100% of people that go to Mexico get murdered.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
So every time I come back, I'm like, well, I made it out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm the bad parent because I let my kids ride their bikes around the street or whatever. I'm like, whatever. I'm not the helicopter parent.
One of the reasons to live where we live is like, it's nice. Kids can bike places and do stuff. It's not cold. They can go, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, no, don't, you can't walk to school. What?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't you want your kids to do that? Why would you want to keep your kid on your boob, basically, and not have them develop independence and freedom?
Right? Speaking of that, and maybe we will transition over to like some milk and snacks.
Yes. Chris looks a little bit hangry over there.
Hey, I was thinking like, who's more like bathycopian over here, me or you, Annabelle? Very deep bosom.
Or what?
Bathycopian, deep bosom.
What does that mean?
Deep bosom. Yeah. It was the word of the day.
I don't know that word.
Word of the day.
I don't know that. Okay, I need to look that up.
Oh, I'm just busting out the snack. Hey, so I have my youngest monster with me for the summer right now, and he loves Takis. You guys eat Takis?
Oh, yeah, Takis are good.
I think
I do too.
I might have tried a spicy one like a while back, but anyways, I got this.
What flavor is it? I can't see.
This is intense nacho, non-spicy. I do like spicy, but I didn't really want. I don't know. I have a bunch of Takis in his bag of snacks that he wanted for his birthday. One of his gifts.
Oh yeah, my kids love those.
But these are interesting because I mean, they're just regular tortilla chips that are like rolled up.
I was gonna say, is it just Doritos?
I mean, I think so. He got a ranch one the other day that we got like 5 kind of Takis and all kind of snacks because you gotta have snacks all day, right? So
yeah, sure.
I don't know who snacks more, if it's him or if it's me, but yeah.
Do you guys fight over snacks?
No, I typically eat a little bit more healthier snacks sometimes, but when he's here, I'll eat.
An excuse.
Yeah, these are pretty good. I don't know.
Do they taste like Doritos or better? Worse?
I think they taste very similar to Doritos, but it's easier to eat because you're not getting chip like all over your face. It's like tiny.
I like that because you're not.
Yeah.
Is it? But they're are they? Oh, are they like Cheeto size? They look like normal Takis, or
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're normal Takis.
Got to put on my reading glasses just so you can see my computer.
New cheesy flavor.
There we go.
These are good. These are dangerously good. I'm sorry if my crunching is loud.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, she's happy.
The unfortunate part is that I can't eat these probably during the podcast. I'm so sad about that.
Because they'll make too much noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matt, mute my crunching, okay?
or just make an ASMR or whatever that says video.
I was gonna make it really loud, actually. Are they like Cheetos? I've never had a Taki.
Oh, Takis are
they're
good.
They're like rolled up tortilla chips, basically, and they put all the seasoning on them.
But it's in the shape of like a French fry, kind of.
Yeah,
because it's not knobby.
Yeah,
like
it looks like a Cheeto.
Exactly,
but it's not knobby.
It like
it's not knobby like a Cheeto.
Oh, knobby!
And it's also hollow.
Yeah, it's hollow.
Oh, weird.
I think it's like a puffed up French fry.
Yeah,
it's just kind of how it.
Yeah, it's like a rolled up.
Oh wow!
It's like they've rolled this little chip
up.
up.
Try some of these.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't had them living in California though, because they're just everywhere.
Yeah. You should grab them. Yeah, try it. Especially the purple bag, the spicy one. It's really, really good. Yeah.
I would recommend to a friend.
Matt, make the clip of noises of Tris just going crunch, 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 crunch.
Can we get a couple good crunches with no one else talking?
Yeah.
Okay. Just and should I get more in my in my mic? Wait, can you hear that?
That was a good crunch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Love it. See, we did make a huge breakfast this morning, so I'm not like as starving, but I think I had like 4 pancakes and like 4 eggs.
You ate all that this morning?
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
And that's why you were wondering, like, am I fat?
Yeah. I gotta lay off the No, I'm not going to lay off that, but I'm going to try to be good. But balance in life.
I mean, if you have a high metabolism and you work out a lot, enjoy your snacks, dude. Come on. Like, don't feel bad about it. Just do it.
Work out so I can eat. It's pretty much.
Yep.
That's pretty much why I did it.
You're so lucky, Tress. So lucky.
Yep.
What? I mean, I don't know. I think you're pretty fit considering you don't.
Mm-mm. I have to just starve myself all the time. There's no eating.
I can't do that. I'd be so sad. I'd be upset. I'd be irritable.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry.
Right. She's like, Mr. Poindexter just starves himself. Oh, I also starve myself.
Yeah.
No, I did it. I barbecued pork ribs last night and steamed artichokes and threw them on the grill and then made some popcorn and yeah, it was good. It was good. I don't really starve myself, I just pretend to say that.
During the day, you starve yourself.
I just fast like 18 hours.
You just don't eat in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to stop eating past a certain time unless we're all together and we're making nachos.
Right. I'm always the first one to be like, oh, it's late. We need nachos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nachos or popcorn, one of those.
I support all the snacks that you guys have.
Yes.
Usually we have popcorn earlier and then we drink a little more. Then it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're still up. We should have nachos.
Well, you got to absorb all that alcohol somehow.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I met my champagne ladies for brunch and we haven't met like in a long time. And so, but there's only 3 of us. And of course we went through 3 bottles of champagne.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but you were fine. When we did our live cam last night, you didn't seem...
Yeah, I stopped drinking like at 3.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it was like 3 hours of like to sober up. And I drank a ton of water and a ton of liquid IV.
Yep.
So
always helps.
Yeah. It was good. So, all right. So I thought because we were talking before the show about ghosting. How not a ghost story, but or
ghosting and dating.
Yeah,
it's a little scary though. It is scary when people ghost.
Dating.
Yeah, that's right. Dating is definitely scary.
So I'm just wondering, do you guys have a good ghosting? Have you been ghosted or have you ghosted somebody? I have stories of ghosting before it was actually like even the internet was invented.
I was ghosted like before even going on a date. Like we had just sent a few like chats back and forth, and then I never really heard anything back. So I just don't push for it. Like if you don't want to go on a date, then you don't want to go on a date.
Yeah. I think ghosting like before you've met is not really.
Yeah, maybe that's
fine.
Not really counts, I guess.
Because I mean, what you're doing then, I think, is you're just trying to figure out if you even want to bother meeting with someone, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would feel.
This is true. Yeah.
But what should be the like cutoff? Like at what point should you not ghost because you're an a-hole if you do? Is it after one date too? Like what do you guys think?
Maybe it's more like if you've been intimate, maybe it's not okay. Like that would make it less okay. And I'm just going to say in this day and age, it's very likely to go on one date. You might have been intimate in some ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's not testing out
That's the thing. I always think you should sleep together immediately because then that's really the only way to figure out if you want anything to do with this person.
I'm sorry.
Because if sex gets better, obviously, the longer you're with somebody and you get chemistry and stuff. But I feel like if it's really bad, then you can just stop wasting your time.
Yeah.
If it's not bad, you'd be like, okay, maybe I want to see where this goes.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Because it's
pragmatic, in my opinion.
Yeah. Like I've gone on dates with people that I'm like, oh man, this person is so sexy or like they're hot or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, like you get them in bed and I'm like, I have time to be teaching you things, okay? Like,
yes, exactly. If it's like they're really boring, or if they like say weird things, like if they talk or something and they're saying weird stuff,
they're trying to date.
There's so many reasons that you could just immediately not be compatible with someone. It's hard for people of all shapes and sizes, no matter what, to find someone that they like to date. That doesn't matter if you're a 10 or a 1. It's hard. Now, yes, I'm sure it's harder for incels who live in basements to meet women. Not going to argue that point.
Not that you're an incel.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I don't have a basement. But...
Not Matt. I mean, in the idea of if it's harder for certain people or not. That's what I meant. But
I can understand why guys become incels. Like, not the crazy guys that want to like hurt people, but I can understand why guys in this day and age would dislike women because of how they've been treated. It's tough. It's tough out there for a single guy like me.
But
really
but it's also tough for a single girl. I mean, it's not just. It wouldn't just say like for you. It is because it's just. I think it's tough in general to date. Because how do you find somebody, right? And then how do you make a connection? And how do you? I mean, Annabelle and Annabelle and I have had this conversation multiple times. Like, how do you find somebody? It has to be really hard,
especially with social media and all these things. I just feel it's so difficult because everybody's always looking for the next best thing.
Yes, that's
and
a huge part of it.
It's hard to trust. Like at some point, you do have to just say, like, it is what it is. Like if somebody cheats or somebody's being shady, then it is what it is. But it is tough, I think, because of that. So,
I mean, that's a huge part of it. I think it's the attitude that, well, there's always something else out there.
Yeah.
So it's hard for a lot of people, especially people I would say that are like the generation younger than us.
Yeah.
That's just what their habit is. They're used to doing that. And it's compounded by the fact that I don't know what percentages it is, but a huge percentage of profiles on dating apps are fake, like catfish, scam profiles. For example, I have been on every dating app in every state, like at least 13 countries. Like people find me on dating apps. I'm not on a single dating app on my own ever, anywhere. Yet I have profiles everywhere, and guys will really start to like people. And then they find out it's fake. And I'm just one person. So imagine how much of it is fake. It's got to be huge numbers, even on sites that like meetup sites, like escort sites. We're posted on those. We're not on there, really. It's not us. So even on things where you're going to pay someone to meet you, most of the profiles are fake. Like that's crazy.
The majority of the internet's fake.
Right, it is.
Yeah.
But so how do you find, even with all how hard it is anyway, and then half the profiles are fake, how is anybody supposed to do anything?
So I mean, my cousin has the same problem. Like he was telling me he'll go on like all these different, like Bumble, whatever it is, whatever dating site there is, Hinge. And it's like a majority of them are like OF women that are trying to scam him or
they're trying to promote on those apps, or get you to join their site.
And he's just like, he's like, at this point, he's like, I see you a mile away. Or they're just like, it's a fake account. And so, and here's somebody that's just like, you know, he has a hard time too, like finding people. I think it's just hard.
Yeah.
What helps him is he's smart, so he can see that it's nonsense. But he's a smart, super successful, attractive guy. Like, and it's hard for him. That's what I mean when it's like, I think it's hard for everyone, no matter what you look like. To a point, I understand if someone's like hideous, that's a little different. But like for regular people, it's hard for everyone. I think.
Yeah, but going back to ghosting, I think going back to what you guys were saying, like if you have been intimate with somebody, I think that's really just like effing rude, right? Like you're not at least man up or woman up and be like, you know what? Hey, listen, I'm just not that into you, or this isn't working for me. And then thanks, you know, I mean, it's a lot better just to be honest. And then I wouldn't want to ghost somebody. At this age, I would just have to be honest with them. Like, hey, this isn't working for me.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was younger, I would ghost people because I didn't know how to deal with that. I didn't know how I was insecure of how do I deal. And I was embarrassed to tell somebody, and I didn't want to hurt their feelings, and I didn't want to feel bad. So it was easier just to not say anything at all. And I think that's what women do, or people do in general. They don't want want that confrontation of being like, I just hurt somebody's feelings, but you are hurting that person's feelings regardless.
Right. They just don't have to deal with it. Yeah.
I think that's exactly what's happening is what you're saying it's just, you don't want to deal with it. Confrontation sucks. You don't want to let them down. So it's easier for you to just forget about them and move on. But it sucks for that other person.
But I just don't understand how hard it is to send a text message.
It's not hard though. You're getting caught up on the idea that like there's barriers that are like real. None of the barriers to just being honest with someone are real things. It's all in our head. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like how we're feeling in our own mind, which is not rational often. And it's way easier to just send the text. Way easier. There's no real obstacle to that other than the person is just being selfish.
Yeah. If someone ghosts you and like, it would be better if they could be respectful and like, you know, and some way, I guess could be confrontational and just be like, hey, this isn't working out. But knowing that you know that they're not that way, to me, I'm like, thank you. Thanks for like, I would not want to be in a relationship with somebody that like, you can't even share your feelings with me. It's not so much sharing your feelings, it's just being honest. It's being honest.
It's literally like a 30-second conversation. Yeah. It's not. And I think if people would just be honest, then at least the person got some sort of, I don't know if closure is the right word because I kind of hate that term, but like, well, at least you know. You're not sitting there wondering for a week or two. And then 2 months later, you're like, man, I wonder if there's anything I could have done. No, they showed you who they were. Yep. So you got to get out of that. It sucks, but I think that's better probably than investing more time and feelings into someone and then finding out they suck.
Oh yeah, you dodged a bullet, we'll say, even though it's like sucks to know in that way, but yeah.
But how can you trust anyone these days?
You can't.
I personally can't anymore. I go into everything with the best of intentions. I go into everything trusting this person and that they're being the person they've told me they are.
Right.
But they're never that person. They're someone else. And I'm like, I can't trust you. I don't understand it. And it's just, I encounter this every single week.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on the dating apps.
Well, think about it. We're not like, I don't think we would be lumped in with average people because we're like older and we're confident in ourselves. And we're like, well, here's what I think. A lot of people aren't like that. So for us, it's easy to be like, nah. Like the last guy this guy was like casually seeing for a while. At some point, he did something to be a jerk. And I was like, I don't want to talk to you right now. And he was kind of like, oh, let's keep talking. I'm like, no, I don't want to. He's like, all right, well, you know, when you're ready, reach out. I never did because I didn't want to. And so then I saw him a little bit after that and he's like, how come you never called me? I was like, oh, I didn't want to. And he just laughed. He was like, well, thanks for the honesty, I guess.
But you were honest.
Like, sorry.
But you were honest with him in the very beginning. Like, I'll call you when I'm ready. And you just were never ready.
Exactly. So but I don't think most people would have done what I did. And then he kind of tried to be like, we can still be friends. I'm like, sure. He's like, let's hang out. I'm like, no, I already have said I don't want to do that. But a lot of people will just be like, oh yeah, okay. Because they're uncomfortable, especially if that conversation's in person. Like I ran into him in person. I couldn't just like, you know, hide my phone.
So Matt, this is my thing. I want to know what is the age range that you're dating that you have set?
It's
is it your age?
I think it's
your age.
Yeah, well, it's 33 to like 39, which I'm 39, so it's like anywhere in between there. I made sure because I was doing the 20 somethings and it was.
Why don't you go like 35 to 45?
Yeah,
I could do that.
That's what I would do. I would go after an older woman. I mean, someone who's more mature and who's not gonna,
but a little older, not old.
Yeah, but someone
that's not gonna be 20 years old and not confident in herself.
Yes, and someone who's like not gonna F around with you and then just be honest with you.
It'll just give you a view of like the other side of it. Cause I do think we tend to communicate more being older. Like, I don't care. I'm going to tell you what I want. I think that's a lot of the issue with relationships anyways, is people not just saying how they feel about stuff.
You know what I've encountered with the older women on these dating apps is that there's nothing wrong with this. I'm just saying it. They want to move real quick because they have their cryo clock. They have.
Oh, you mean of getting married and having kids?
Yes, they want to move.
I didn't even think about that. I'm like, God, I never want to move quick in terms of meeting someone. I'm like, I need to figure you out first if I want to do this.
Right.
No, they're like, I've met a few that are just like basically looking for anyone who's willing.
So then that's why we're completely different because we're not like looking for people.
I would stay away from a woman who has no kids.
Yeah, get a MILF. Okay,
you need someone. You need someone with kids or someone who wants to be child free.
Yep.
The woman that wants to have a baby that's our age is going to be like.
She's going to grab onto you and put her hooks in you and doesn't really give a shit because she just wants to have
the talons.
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't want
I always think that you're 28, Matt. You don't look.
Why
I don't know because you don't look 39. I'm just saying.
Well, thank you. I take that as a compliment. But 39, I'm getting old too. Like I don't want to be a dad for the first time at the age of 48. Like I'm going to be dead by the time the kid's in college.
Right. That was my thoughts. I was like, I'm not trying to have more kids at this age because I don't want to have a kid graduating high school when I'm 60. That's just personally not what I want. I know there's like all these things are like, oh, it's healthy to have them, 41, 2, 3, whatever, but no.
Not if you already have kids. I can't imagine starting.
It'd be like a separate
no way.
Kids. Yeah. Like separate or
exactly.
Whatever it is. Single child or only child.
Yeah, exactly.
Only child. It's like, what is the word for this right now? Yeah.
I actually did have going back to the ghosting, I did have a girl who did text me and tell me that she wasn't interested. And although that really was difficult for me to handle because we had been on like 4 or 5 dates, I have found that much better.
Yeah.
And so like I look at her and I raise her in my book of, standard because she actually communicated with me and told me what was up instead of let me hanging.
Right.
Yeah, but I also think it's a level of maturity with women because like going back, like when I was younger, I didn't know how to handle that. And I don't like disappointing people. And that would be when I was young. Even now I don't like disappointing people. But I can at least be honest with people about how I feel. But back then I would have ghosted people in my 20s and probably early 30s.
I did for sure. I mean, I ghosted a guy while we were having sex one time.
She was like, I'm out. I'm clocked out.
I did the same thing too one time. I was like, this isn't working for me. I'm out.
I got up to go to the bathroom and just left and never talked to him again.
What?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that's done that.
That's a good indicator that the sex was very bad.
Yeah.
Was this micro machine?
It was.
Oh,
he was
micro
he
machine.
was really
Okay.
handsome. He was an attorney. Like I liked
Micro
him.
machine. I haven't heard about this story, but
I think we talked about it during the upsize.
Did we?
Episode, possibly. We did talk about if there's anything you can do for micro machines.
Oh yeah. No, this guy had one, and it was my first experience with such a thing, and I felt so dirty. Like I felt gross. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I can't do this.
I feel so bad because it's like not like something they can necessarily control.
I know. I felt really bad because he was a super nice guy, but I was just couldn't.
So
now,
what happened after that? Did you ever reach back out to him? Did you ever?
No, but this was when I was in college. But he reached out to me when I was in grad school, and I can't remember why. But he was getting married, and I just told him I was sorry for being an a-hole previously. He's like, yeah, no worries, it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he obviously knows he has a micro. Like, it's not like he didn't know. I didn't need to tell him. But I don't know. I feel like that being a surprise is, I think some people might be okay with that. But if you're not, it's like rude to show up to a party with like an appetizer that doesn't feed everyone.
Oh my God.
That may have been the best thing the show's ever created.
That is like, oh my God. My experience was not like that. It was just there wasn't a connection and it wasn't fun. And I'm like, I'm not going to do anything that's not fun. I'm sorry. I'm not here to like make it fun for you. It's supposed to be fun for me. And I'm like, this is not fun. So I'm out. I'm like, yeah, get off me. I'm out. And I felt bad because I actually really liked the person. And I'm like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's always such a letdown when you're in the middle of doing all that stuff and you're just like, this isn't going to work out. I'm ready.
This isn't good.
Yep.
I'm ready for you to go home.
This is such an interesting perspective to see for me. I've never heard women talk
I
about
have had somebody that wanted to. There's somebody that wanted to stay in my bed, and I was just like, "Oh my God, it's the guy." I will just call him Neverhard, okay? Because I'm sorry,
God.
but that's not sexy, and I don't care if you're still having fun. It's not sexy.
I told you I had one of those not too long ago, first time ever. And I was so confused because you can look at it and tell it's not ready to go.
It doesn't even feel the same. It's like,
and then they're still using it. And I'm like,
are you in there?
I was so confused. I was so confused.
Oh my God. So I had a guy one time
didn't do that again either.
I had a guy one time bring his shit to my house. Like he was gonna move in. And I'm like, what is this? I'm like, we didn't have this conversation. And then I realized this is the shit that women do. Oh, I'm gonna leave this at the house so I can come back and get it later. No. And then I realized women are freaking crazy because they try to sneak in and be like, oh, I left this over there, so I gotta come back over and get it.
Like, does that ever really work out well where you snuck yourself in and didn't leave and they kept you?
And they just kept you because you were there.
Just kept you.
Maybe so because if it's maybe for a man, it's like, oh, this is convenient, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess for me, I'm not letting anybody come to my house. First of all, no way. My kids live here. Nobody's coming to my house. We can go somewhere else. We can go to your house, but I need to be able to get the F out of there if for whatever reason. And I do not want someone sleeping in my bed because I can hardly sleep as it is. If there's someone else there, especially someone I don't know that well, I'm not going to sleep. Like, go home. What are you doing?
Why is your head on my pillow?
Right. What are you doing throwing my cat off my pillow because you don't like to sleep next to a cat?
My cat has priority in this bed, not you.
Right. It's not nice. I don't understand why people want to sleep over with virtual strangers. Like, how do you relax like that? Just because you like want to have sex with someone doesn't mean you want to sleep with them.
Oh my God, no. And I do not want to cuddle with you. Do not want you to touch me. When we're done having sex, you move over to that side. If you want to spend the night, you're over there on that side of the bed, and I'm going to be on this side, and do not touch me. We're going to create a wall of like pillows.
If I'm asleep and I get woken up by somebody wanting to cuddle, I am going to be mad.
I'm going to be having a hot flash over here and dying, so do not even.
Exactly. I don't want you to touch me.
I think I'm more like a man. Okay, let's have sex and then get out. Bye.
Yeah, but we all are. We already know that. We think much more like pragmatically, I think.
I know what I want. Give it to me, and now leave. Go home.
Ooh, I did have once a long time ago where it was like somebody I was hooking up with, and he did the whole, so what exactly are we? And for the first time ever, I felt like a guy, because I was like, why would you do that? Why are you ruining it?
Right.
I know. I think as you get older, you realize like,
what difference does it make what we call ourselves? It
right.
literally doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I think, so here's where I would say the demarcation line is. Are we exclusive or not? That's really the only thing I care about. It doesn't matter what we call ourselves, but if we've decided we're going to sleep together, only us, then that's just the decision. It doesn't matter what label it has. I just want to make sure I'm not going to catch something.
Right?
Like feelings or
no, like an STD.
Yeah.
Tris, I'm with you. Do not catch feelings, and do not give me an STD. Keep your feelings all bottled up inside. Do not tell me how you feel, because I take my feelings and I shove them down deep in my soul and I stomp on them.
I mean, if I like you, then tell me your feelings. If I'm not really that into you, don't tell me.
See, that's confusing.
Right.
It is.
Well, you just shouldn't share feelings for a while. Yeah. If you've known someone for a month, why do they know your innermost thoughts? That's crazy.
I get that. But like, I used to be the guy who shared his feelings, and it didn't work out well for me. But I understand why, because I came on a little too strong back in the day.
But that's what we're saying.
Pre me stop drinking.
No one should be doing that for a while.
I was like, basically making plans with their family and family vacations.
You know who
after
does
like
that
2 months.
too? Crazy. Lesbians, they move in after the second date.
Oh.
They what?
Lesbians move in after the second date. It's well known, right?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yes. Lesbians are like, it's known, like, in the lesbian community.
Is it?
Oh my God. Date number 2 is I'm gonna rip my U-Haul. I'm packing up all my shit. We're moving in. Yes.
That's crazy.
Because a lot of women are crazy that way, right? We're just like,
that's true.
We're moving in. And to me, I'm like, we ain't never moving in. We're never moving in.
That looks very traumatized.
No, I looked up, do lesbians move in after the second date? And the first thing it came up was called you're a U-Haul lesbian. The joke is, what does a lesbian bring on a second date? And the answer is
I told you.
I believe you. I just didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, this is crazy. I didn't know anything about this U-Haul lesbian.
Okay, we want to hear from our lesbian fans. We want you guys to give us some comments or feedback, because I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reach out to them and ask a couple of them on my, social media what they think about that. But I mean, I do have some friends that are, and I had some past friends that were really close to me that were. So this is very like a common thing, like in the community. That's so funny. They do. But if I got divorced, I would not want to ever live with anybody again. Ever.
Nope.
Ever. No.
I did it once, and it was wasn't good.
I'll just live my life with a bunch of dogs. Hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to like age out of dating and can just have only cats. Like just a horde of cats.
She's gonna be that crazy cat lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can smell the cat urine from here.
No, you won't smell cat urine in my house. No way.
We're gonna find her eaten by a cat someday.
Oh yeah. I mean, if you die, they're gonna eat your eyeballs like pretty immediately.
Wait, speaking of cats, did you show Crystal the shirt that I got you? I'm so tickled.
No, but I
shirt.
will.
It's
very cute.
A little cat in the pocket. And when you pull the pocket down, the cat's like flipping the bird.
Oh,
I thought how fitting.
Very cute. It's very cute.
I had a cat in here a while ago. I don't know where she went. Oh, she's back over here
mine out.
sleeping. But she was actually trying to become on the podcast earlier. Like,
I put Ramsey out this time.
Yeah, my ideal situation would be if I was divorced would just be like living by myself and just having like, I don't know, 3 to 5 boyfriends.
I could see that.
A different one to take me out every single day.
Yeah.
Every single night. Yeah. And I get tired of you, you can just go home. Come over, take my garbage out.
I thought you were going to say you want like a farm or something.
You would think that would work.
Boyfriends.
That's not going to work because the more you tell guys that you don't want anything serious, that's when they want something serious.
No, but I
feel like that's
I would not. I would not.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird. They want what they think they can't have. And that's women too, I suppose.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily just guys, but yeah, if you're like, hey, I just want this to be sex and nothing else, they're like, whoa, I was thinking we should move in together.
See, I think that's absolutely true.
Yeah.
It's really strange because in my mind I'm like, okay, like when I was dating people, I'd be like, well, don't care about getting married, definitely don't want to have kids, can't accidentally get pregnant even, and I love having things that are like casual, but like we like each other enough to like have coffee and have a conversation, right? So many guys would just be like, wait, you don't want me? You're not looking for anything serious? I'm like, what? I thought this would be like a huge asset for guys thinking like, oh, this is amazing.
Right.
This is basically like fun and casual, but also just like regular sex partner. And guys get weird.
It's such a rare thing, I think, because they're like, okay, this person's not trying to trap me. They're probably not crazy. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. But,
well, I think some women lie and say they don't care either, and they do.
Yeah.
But I'm not lying.
I think most of them do.
In my house.
I think most of them do lie.
There's like a Friends episode where Chandler was getting all these perks because everybody wanted him to hook them up with Rachel. And he told the guy, oh, yeah, she's just looking for a fling. And when he told her that, she's like, well, you don't tell the guy I'm looking for a fling. So he's like, oh, my bad. And then the next day he breaks up with her and she's like, what did you tell him? He's like, oh, I told him that you wanted a serious relationship. She's like, no, you don't tell him that either. You can't tell him either way.
Right. You just got to let them think what they want to think for a little while. Then get into it, I guess.
It's true. It's true. We have all the dating advice, Matt, and I don't even know. It's all over the place.
Long story short, I wish dating wasn't so hard.
You should let us pick the dates for you.
Ooh. Yeah.
I think that's a very bad idea.
Can we do a most eligible bachelor of San Diego and post it on our socials?
Hey,
Mr. Poindexter was it like most eligible bachelor in Sacramento a long time ago, and he was like on the cover of magazine with his fancy car.
That diva.
We need to get Matt that hookup.
I maybe laughed at him too when he showed me that magazine. I don't think we were dating at the time, and I was like, no, because he would come down to my chemistry lab and try to flirt with me, and I'm like, who are you? Like, and he's like, look at this, and I was like,
do you know who I am?
So hilarious. I'm like, that's so funny.
So how did he break through the tough exterior
of me? Well, when I first met him,
because you tell these stories of when he tried to like flirt with you, and you're like, get out of here, bro, get out of here.
He was friend zoned at first.
I was.
How do you make it out of that?
I was actually dating somebody else, and then it didn't. I actually really liked the guy too, but it didn't work out because he moved out of state for work and wasn't going to do no long distance thing. Anyways, I don't know. And then we just kind of like, we're friends. And then after a while, I was like, oh my God, I think I really like you. But that's just like how I am. I don't have that instant connection with somebody, like instant attraction where I'm like, oh my God, you're so hot that this is going to be a thing. I can be attracted to somebody, but then that's a little bit of it. And I have to get to know their personality. And it's a personality that actually in them, that actually does it for me. It's not just the looks.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. Because if we can't just have a conversation for 5 minutes, then we can't do any. I mean, it just can't happen because it's too boring.
And that's what would be really hard for me on a dating app, because I'd just be like, I don't know you. I mean, I just see a picture of you, but I don't know anything about you. Like, I don't know how your personality is. Are you witty? Are you like dumb as a nail? I mean, are you like, you know?
Well, that's why I would prefer to chat over text or something for a while first before meeting someone, because it really takes me a minute to like warm up. But some people don't want that, or they take that as a sign you're not interested. Whereas for me, I'd be like, no, I just don't know if I'm interested yet. Like, you're attractive, so I'll talk to you, but we got to figure this out. Because I don't want to go spend even 10 minutes meeting somebody if I already know I'm not going to like them.
Well, see, I hate texting. So, I mean, that wouldn't work for me. You know that. I'd rather pick up the phone and talk to somebody. So I'd have to like somehow communicate with them some way, not through text.
You would have to text.
No, I'd have to call them on the phone. I need to hear their voice, because what if they have like a weird voice?
That's true.
Like, hey, Mrs. Poindexter, what's going on?
Stop. Very cartoonish.
You go back to your basement right now.
Like the male Marge Simpson over there.
That's the voice of someone that never goes outside.
Yes, that is true. That is true. What if he had a really high voice, like Mickey Mouse?
It's like from Grown Ups, the guy from Saskatchewan or whatever. Do you remember that?
I don't know what that is.
It's like a super hot ripped dude, and he walked up to all these ladies, and it was a very like high pitched voice.
Well, didn't we talk about this at one point? Pretty soon, all dating apps are going to be like, it's all going to be AI. It's going to be your AI chatbot talking to your person that you've actually connected to, their chatbot, and so you have all your AI chatbots are going
AI is
talking.
Awful.
They're both going to be talking to each other, and then when you guys meet, you're going to be like, what?
Why would anyone use that tool for such a thing, though? It doesn't make sense. Well, because
you could then weed out a bunch of like weirdos.
No, it's weird to have
their computer, though.
It's weird to have a computer talk, and you think that's going to give you some insight into the person. If both people's computers are talking, that's weird as hell.
But then you could weed out a bunch of people, though, too.
How?
I get what she's saying, because then you could set up like filters before. Yep. And if this person mentions this, then they get a strike. And if they mention that, then they get a check. And so,
that's how it's.
I mean,
I'm not into that.
I like that feature when I'm shopping for shoes or something. Like I can do the filter and look for exactly what I want, but not for.
Hey, when you're on a dating app, can you filter people like that? I only want blue eyes.
You can filter people.
I don't think you can do. I don't think you can do physical.
Why not? Why can't you? Because we all are about physical appearance.
You can do height.
You can do like height. You could do height
and fitness level, but people lie.
I think that would be that would be detrimental to people's.
No, you cannot do breast size.
I mean, you can just look at their pictures, though.
But sometimes the pictures are misleading because you look at them and then there's like 5 people in it, and then you click to the next and there's like 7 people in it. You're like, which one? Oh, I have to find the common person in each picture.
Common denominator.
My point is just that if you can look at the picture, you can just immediately tell. Usually, if people are going to lie about their pictures or put up pictures that are old or something, they're going to lie in their filters anyway. You know what I mean? Like they're not
totally.
Like your dating profile picture should be within 6 months. If you're using pictures any older than 6 months, you need to have a word with yourself.
And if your face is filtered so much that we can't see your features, then that's a no.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah.
I mean, women are doing that. I think largely, not men.
Well, women filter everything. Every single picture on the internet's filtered.
Yeah,
I know.
It's so cringy.
Also, if you put on your dating app your like Instagram handle, I know you're only after one thing, and that's followers.
Oh, right. And that's what a lot of the content creators will do is they'll go on a dating app and they'll set their location to meet someone anywhere. And that's how they're advertising. I've seen girls give courses on this. They someone pays them money and they teach them how to use dating apps to market their OF.
I mean, that doesn't.
I fell for it early on because I thought, they're leaving their Instagram. This is another way for me to get in contact with them if they don't hit me up here. So I go to their Instagram, follow them, send a message, and I never get a message back. And then I realized what trap I was falling into, so I unfollowed.
Yeah, I would think it's good because then you can go see more of them and you get more of a sense of who they really are. But they're doing it for the followers. You're right.
I mean, in all honesty, when I got divorced and then I got on. We'll say I was on Tinder and I tried that out and I had my Snapchat on there. That actually started my whole in our other in our other business because somebody put me on a MILF forum and they put my Snapchat. I started getting all these people on my Snapchat. I was like, where are you coming from? Who are you?
Right. Wait, what is this?
They didn't want to get blocked. I said, you better tell me where you came from or I'm blocking you.
So funny.
So it works.
See, if I were to see someone like Triss on the app these days,
you assume it's
she's fake.
Yeah, exactly.
She's not real. There's no one like her.
Or a little crazy, maybe.
Wait.
Or a little crazy, maybe. Maybe,
but
I don't just assume that's a fake profile. She's not really on here.
Do you see a lot of girls with like
big
fake lips?
Ew.
No. I see pretty normal looking girls. The duck.
That's another good indicator, though. Either
Mrs. Poindexter's doing the duck lips.
If they have duck lips, they have duck lips, it's either some kind of content creator or she's vapid as hell.
Oh God! So this reminds me, I was going to bring this up. I was at Whole Foods last week, and I was in back of this lady, and she was like pretty attractive until she fucking turned around. Till she turned around, and all I could see was all this filler, like all up here. Her little cheeks
look like this.
Yeah, and her big ass lips, and I'm like, dude, nobody likes that besides other women. No, I don't even like that. I look at you and I think you are so insecure. That like what is going? I mean, I'll do a little bit of Botox, but I am not going to put filler in my face because it could gravitate other places. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, your space is still going to come down no matter what when it dissipates. So you're just, I don't know. I mean, I would.
And a lot of these people that are younger than us that have work done, they end up looking way older, way earlier because they're not getting good work done. Like there are definitely ways to get subtle things done that are helpful.
I mean, plus Botox is weakening your muscles, which is why we get the wrinkles in the first place because they're not working their muscles. So unless you're going to continue getting Botox, then eventually.
I mean, I do a little bit. Right. Still, I have them make sure I can still move my face. Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to not.
I mean,
I've been getting like lines. There's two big old like Native American lines right here. Soften that shit up a little bit.
I mean, I've been getting Botox for a long time, but I can't anymore because apparently I'm allergic to it. The last 2 times I've gotten it, I literally had
your face.
Not like an anaphylactic thing where I couldn't breathe, but my sinuses literally, they swell up and get puffy and I can't breathe. And I'm really bummed about it because not only this is almost worn off, so my forehead's going to look bad soon. But the neurologist won't do it in the back of my head anymore for migraines because they don't think it's a good idea if you know you're allergic. So
that's a bummer. Yeah. I'm sorry. But don't do the lips, girls. I mean, girls, do not put lip filler in here. It's just horrible. It just screams desperate. Okay.
Well, also don't do this in pictures. Like, why do you think that's cute? It's weird to me that people are still doing that. Like, that was popular a while ago.
Or sticking your tongue out. This whole the sticking your tongue out one. I'm like, what are you like 5 years old? No one sticks their tongue out. I'm like, that's just a bad look for a woman. I'm like, sticking your tongue out or making some.
Why are they sticking their tongue out? I don't understand.
They're like, or some dumb shit like that. Like, we're adults. What are you doing? When I hang out with my friends, even if we drink a lot and party, there's at no point in time I'm going to stick my tongue out for a photo. Like, I just don't get it.
If it's out too far.
Like, I'm having so much fun.
If it's like, but if it's like all the way out.
No, they're like.
Or is it like.
That's very much,
it's
to
like
me, that's very like
fetish.
That's very fetish for girls to
taking the tongue out.
Like,
do we need to look inside your mouth?
Yeah, that seems a little weird.
I don't want it. No, I don't want to see anyone's. I don't want to see anyone's tongue.
Right, like I'm not your dentist. Close your mouth.
That's like when guys send a video with their tongue all up close. I'm like, that's gross. I'm not imagining it anywhere. Stop.
What?
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
They'll send a close-up video of their tongue that's like, I'm like, that's not, it's sexy. Yeah.
Like snake tongue?
Yeah, it's not. I'm sorry.
Why are you hissing at me?
I'm thinking that maybe they assume that we're being like, oh, I could have that somewhere, but really it's just a gross.
It
is so gross.
It's the same thing when men send pictures. Do not send pictures unsolicited.
Yeah.
unsolicited
a certain
pictures,
type of picture.
do not send them. You do that immediately. I think you have zero experience with women, and your ass is getting blocked.
You don't know what women want. There are things that are way sexier than a picture of the male anatomy.
Yeah,
guys.
a tease
picture. I'll suggest 2 things right now that you should do immediately instead of sending the male anatomy picture. Take a freaking photo of you, a normal photo of you just smiling. Let me see if you look crazy when you smile. You got nice teeth. Like, that is attractive. And then if you get a little, maybe like, I don't know, sexy talk, send a picture of like a bulge in your pants. In the pants. That is freaking hot. Because that's like, oh, you're thinking about me and you're excited and it's like kind of naughty or whatever. That is way sexier than any kind of nude photo you can send a woman.
Yep.
I think they underestimate these little.
They have no idea. They take all their photos sitting on the toilet half the time. And I'm like, why are you... When are you ever like, I'm sitting on the toilet? Yeah, let's take pictures right now.
This is the perfect time.
Right. Why are you doing that? And I mean, just come on, just go on your bed or something. Like, there's no reason.
That's so.
Most people have phone time on the toilet.
This is.
Like, no one wants a picture from the toilet.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
I get that. Who's taking pictures of the toilet?
Like, literally thousands and thousands and thousands of guys.
You would be surprised. Picture. You would be, and it's not even a clean toilet. It's not like.
No, sometimes there's like pee in there, you can tell, or like it's like dirty and cleaned well. Like, it's got the hard watermarks.
Oh God!
All right.
Refresh.
We are like we're going down the drain here on this talk.
I'm just saying, guys. There's pictures that women want to get from you.
Yeah,
you should try to do what women want. If they want to see the nude photo, they will tell you. Don't do it unless you're asked.
I like when it's underwear and you can see the outline. That's pretty sexy.
And the outline is so hot.
And I don't want a gym picture either.
No.
Oh, no. Well.
That's douchey.
You look like a douche, really, if you're doing like a photo in the gym. Yeah, that's true.
Like, look at me. I'm working out. I'm like.
Now, if you're just like on the beach having a good time, that kind of picture, that's cool. But,
I want to see you like, I don't know, like driving the truck with a beer. Not.
I want to see you drink and drive.
Separately. Driving the truck and then maybe with it. I don't know. Okay. But more like casual
my whole
relaxed,
screen
right?
just froze.
Oh, yeah. You froze up for a second.
There you're
back. I'm back. Okay. I was like, where did everybody go? I can't see.
All right. So I think we need to wrap it up because we're going down the drain with the toilet talk over here.
We could talk. I feel like we could have so many conversations about relationships and all that stuff because we get awfully chatty.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up another episode of Irrational Moms. You can find us at Spotify or Apple, or you can Google irrationalmoms.com and see us on YouTube, or go to YouTube and put Irrational Moms on it. Irrational Moms in. Oh yeah, we'll be back with more more snacks. Sorry, I got excited that I get to eat some more snacks right at the end.
You can forgot my law.